and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D.
Good afternoon, South Africa. My name is Balisa Tembe, and it's the weekend, baby. We have made it, of course. For a lot of us, this is our first week of work.
Totally. Do you know that yesterday was the first time, 41 years ago yesterday, was the first TV broadcast in South Africa.
Scary.
Crazy, hey?
We've come a long way.
Now, there's nothing more inspiring, really, than watching creatives give back to their industry and afford others the opportunities that they were given. Paying it forward is something that we actually don't see often enough.
Absolutely. So joining us today is actor Mutodi Neshehe, and he's had years of experience in the film and television industry, and he chats to us all about his knowledge that he's gained over the years, plus what 2020 looks like.
So we also have rising rap star, crazy J Suave, performing in the studio for us. Plus, we dive right into the kitchen for a corn dog recipe, so you can really spoil yourself this afternoon. Now, our first guests for today are all about fostering community in music. Ghetto Sessions is here, and they are ready for some soul and jazz.
The talented band will also be performing at Up the Creek this year. But to give us a taste of what exactly that it looks like, this is Ghetto Sessions presenting Ndalamo with Ngomgqibelo.
Yeah. Afternoon Express on 3. Ghetto Mountain Sessions. We're live. Ziyalena le babhizi ngapha zinxelo ngapha kamalungiselelo ekhasini komgqibelo umgqibelo mafanso nomnye umgqibelo babhebi izitshintshayelo onozimokolo ukukhuthaza unxilo ngeminye imigqibelo utshwala behla buthengiswe ngezaphulelo apha ekhasini komgqibelo ekyankazathwa kubekho ichilas nesikiti wila njengenjwayelo apha ekhasini komgqibelo transikatishali qumzingquphi abantwana besikolo zuzithole bangotyiswa iqolo qhawuka izimilo qala ubuqhopholo uphuma kancinci lo mntana kwam ade kunomphelo lalo tikfaka kafike ekuseni ayuqhelile lo mbethwa kaboyiki eziyabila impotla zwana baqale ngotsiki kanti umuntu ebengekaqini nge-girls night out the freaky cause xa bekulelwe kukho umgosi like ngo-5 to 1:30 ezasipini zetrains oqala esitasi septethasi ibangathi bachambela umatrasi abazikhokasi ngekhokasi kubekho imedana nisisi bawazi mix suwaru uthe bethu 6 bekholo sephethe ibhisi neyade betha ngo-Netflix iholo kungesentu ispice khatshwa ziclips nepics zalasini kusenza imoto enye zegorani segusi mpelaveki nampelaveki sitshi statistics like ziyatsha i-paramedics calls fike emveni kwe-forensics i-ambulance police visibility ayisenza i-difference beklophi nitronume babhizi ngezitonga benza ibhizinesi banabatshana baxwaya ikatilex ne-license xa begxabulo G4S yewena ndixelela inonsense engingqelile ibels kanyiwa yekashi bakubethu isilence wokumuntu tense but is looking forward to bara's universe weekend na weekend emotions of no confidence ityhu umgwinyo baby abazivula ngamazinyo weekend asiyo weekend bakho rhontshi ngazibilisiyo setpatishe ngokhona aba bayemjayivweni engabuyiyo cause nakutshoni langa akucinga nawe yeah sakubuyi ngoko nakutshoni langa akucinga nawe yeah we like Ghetto Sessions. Lisa. We do love it. We there.
And that is how you you start a show on a Friday. Wasn't that so beautiful?
I mean, easing us into the weekend.
Just absolutely stunning. Just beautiful music that's so nice and layered. I'm in the mood for a cocktail already. I don't know about you, but that has definitely put me in the mood.
Absolutely. And to see how the voices, how the instruments all come together so beautifully. Absolute perfection.
Amazing.
Fellas, come on over.
Come on over.
Come
And of course,
on
if you
over.
want to connect with us or Ghetto Sessions, please do tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express or pop a visit to our Facebook page. Welcome, guys.
Hey guys, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Incredible. What a beautiful collection of sounds and energy. How did this all start? What is Ghetto Sessions and what was the driving force behind
So
it?
Ghetto Session is a place where we host artists coming from different spaces around Cape Town. So it started on a tutor shop, a small shop in Kailicha, where I was selling clothes, accommodating local designers. Then from there, I decided to jam with friends, and then from there, it happens on every Fridays. Then, yeah, now we're sitting where we're hosting a lot of artists coming from all over South Africa with George.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So what is the purpose here? What is the... Ladies, obviously, that voice.
Your voice is insanely beautiful.
We were just sitting here, just like closing our eyes, imagining us somewhere very special. I mean, the way in which you guys come together is exactly that, special.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ghetto Sessions is just more than creating music. What end goal are you looking at? Where do you want to see this go?
So, as Sia said, it started as like small jams, and then I came with as a guitarist for one of those, and then I could see what he was doing. And then we spoke about kind of trying to bridge the gaps in Cape Town. Anybody who lives in the city understands that there are serious problems when it comes to integration here. So we decided as a group of musicians that we were going to try and use music to catalyze a kind of a dissolution of those boundaries. So what you just saw is one of the products. We combining like our favorite Cape Town musical artists together from the Kailicha scene, from the Cape Town scene, from all over. And yeah, basically it's just about integration. You know, these day festivals we throw, we just try and get people moving into each other's spaces, listening to each other's music, and it's been great.
Yeah. And then how often do you have these day sessions, and then where do you have them?
So it happens on a monthly basis. The plan that we have, since we're talking about cross-culture, bringing black and white because we are segregated, we're focusing on the townships, but also we want to take people from the township to go to town. So we're trying by all means to be all over the place. Just because it's Ghetto Session doesn't mean we have to be only in the ghetto. So when I go out there, possibly we want to be all over Africa at some point.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And when you guys go into a space, I know you kind of transform it and you make it into your own, and you kind of shape, shift and mold it as to tell your story. What different kind of methods do you use when you put this together?
I mean, you're probably the best space curator.
So we try by all means to use music involving also people who are doing contemporary dance, exhibitions. So we want to make sure that we have all type of art in one space because most artists, they want to go to Johannesburg to be successful in terms of music careers. So we are saying we are from Cape Town, and we want to make sure that we're providing a platform where people can network at the same time, showcase their talent, because the township, that's where everyone talks about the negative things. But what about the beauty? What about the talented people? So it's not only about gangsters and everything. So that's the whole plan, is to bring quality musicians from Cape Town with paint black and white.
And of course, the two of you were curated to be part of this beautiful project. How do you go about choosing artists? And I mean, how often, like, is this the one group and then lots of different groups, or how does it all?
Yeah, so many. I mean, the only way is to like go to gigs in Kailicha and go see what's. In Lulamti, I saw at the market at Ati's market, and I just happened to be going, and then I saw him, and I was like, this dude's so good. Like, need to try, like, work together. Lisa, same thing, just like cruising around, and Sia is very connected in the Kailicha music scene, so the two of us. And I'm quite connected in the Cape Town music scene. So the two of us sit down afterward and we're like, this band would go well with this band, these musicians should work together, and these, I mean, the talent speaks for itself, you know.
And you're also going to be representing it up the creek. What's going to be happening there? What can we look forward to?
So that's part of the thing, is like, you know, anybody who goes to our festival scene is pale. Like, it's too pale for, like, you know, being in South Africa is not representative enough musically in terms of the demographics or anything. And my own band plays at a lot of these festivals. And I spoke to Up the Creek about it and said, what do you think about us, like, as Ghetto Sessions, coming and curating the Friday lineup? Like, let's bring in, like, let's make it representative of what's happening like on the ground, you know, in Cape Town, and they were so keen on it, and they've given us our first like foot in the door. So we have, these are 2 of 4 of our artists who are going to go through, people we respect, people who we believe that their music has such crossover potential with the festival goer scene. So we kind of just want to take over the whole thing and just like scramble it and just make it more South African.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, kicking off the show like that, and of course leading into the festival and music scene, you definitely are setting the tone on such a high level. You guys are so super talented. I'm very much looking forward to Up the Creek and what you have up your sleeve for that incredible festival. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank goodness you said up your sleeve.
What did you think I said? Hey, it's Friday indeed.
After the break, we chat to the one and only Mutodi Neshehe. Don't miss out on that interview.
Express yourself.
Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Mutodi Neshehe has captured women's hearts with this heartthrob role status as Ndalamo on SABC2's Muvhango.
Now, this seasoned actor has spread his wings to the behind the scenes of the industry and is making his mark where it really matters. Now, connect with us online if you've got any questions for Mutodi, and please tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So lovely to you
finally
again.
here.
Yes.
This couch is more comfortable than I thought it was.
But now, I haven't seen you in a while, and now I gave you a hug earlier, and you're feeling ripped. Have you been working out?
You know, you're not going to believe me, but I haven't been to the gym in... No, I went once in November and once in December.
No ways.
Wow.
So, but during the year, religiously.
Yeah, no,
I
you
eat
look
right and I
amazing.
just go and just...
So strong, heaven sent.
Thank you.
You know, it's that consistency, I think, that you've shown working out in the gym that we see being exactly mirrored in your career. You're just consistent from strength to strength, soapy to soapy, movies. I mean, across the board, you are a stand-up sterling act. How has the journey been like looking back at the years? And do you kind of pinch yourself to be like, hey, man, I did that?
I don't really... I look at my job as a job just like anybody else, you know. I go to work, then I go home. But obviously I set my goals a little bit further than most people, and sometimes I will stop and, you know, regroup and figure out what it is that I want to do. But what I like to do is I like to get new challenges in my life. Every time you do something, you know, I got to be the better person than I was. Simple as yesterday. You know, wake up the better man than I was yesterday. And after a year or so, you are far beyond what you thought you could be.
Yeah.
But because it's baby steps, you know. Baby
That compound interest that you keep adding.
They're the one that the
also-
banks hit us with.
Yeah.
But you are just so good at that. Like, you've had an extraordinary career. You've got movie star good looks. And also, you've also gone behind the scenes now. I mean, your production company is doing really exciting work. Tell us a little bit about some of the work that you've been doing.
I have I've been doing documentaries. I was in Venda this December working on a documentary, and I need to go back and finish it. But it's a 10-year documentary that I've been working on.
Wow.
So I shot it in 2009, and I revisited it in 2019. So I'm going to go do the interviews next month.
Documentaries always fascinate me because it always seems like so much work.
It is a lot of work, and it's also patience. I mean, anything that we do around here is patience and repetition, you know, unless you're live. You don't have the luxury of
You'll be
repetition.
shook real quick.
You just need to be a little
but
crazy
you
for
just
that.
you just have to, you know, just keep pushing and be patient and just do step by step.
But do you find the kind of work that you choose in documentaries, is a little bit more passionate or a little bit more
has to be passionate.
heartfelt?
It has to be passionate because then you focus on it. Then you try to get the truth and then maybe even give answers to the people who are living that life, you know. For me, it's, well, the passion is the least of it, but also the art. Of making a good documentary that the world will be willing to see. I had a friend of mine ask me, like, so what makes you think people want to see this documentary? I'm like,
well, what's it about?
it's about the bare fist knuckle fighting in Venda.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so I
can't wait to watch this.
I did it in 2009, and then I came back, and it has grown to just being in a crawl to now being in a stadium. So I went there and I met with the chief, and he gave me his blessing. I met with the guys who organized it, and
You didn't get into the ring, hey?
I was challenged in 2009, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna get in. Because this scrawny little guy was. But then I'm like, this guy can put me to sleep. It takes one good punch to put anybody to sleep. So I'm like, nah, it's good. I mix money with this.
Don't affect the money maker.
And I was going to say, all of the ladies watching do not want you to be touched, so please, no one come after us. You have been warned. But what is it about that magic and that kind of drive working behind the scenes? Because I can only imagine how different it is being in front of camera and behind.
It's passion. I mean, like, I've always said, okay, I'm gonna stop acting and focus on the behind the scene, but the acting also always pulls me back if a good project comes up, you know. But the passion is actually from the patience of the guys behind the scene. So if you have the discipline and the patience to sit with a script for 5, 8, 10 years until the time comes, you have to have that passion to actually maintain and just to own creativity, you know. I mean, as an actor, I only own what it is that I perform. And I can own that character, that moment. But as a producer, as a director, the whole project is a lot of work. You know, you're dealing with personalities. You know, you're dealing with 50, 60 people, excluding the actors.
And
those
everyone is looking at you.
I know, because I was one.
And you've also done such an incredible job at keeping your professional life very professional and above board, and not letting that private life kind of sink into the news and have everybody gossiping and talking about it. And you've got incredible kids who are your inspiration. I mean, how has that juggling act been for you? And how have you been able to keep the two quite separate?
Like I said, it's just as simple as keeping my work, and I always explain it to people, like, what I do for a living, I'm just like the guy who works at Pick It Up or at Checkers or anywhere. I do my work, I'm not a celebrity at home.
Yeah.
The kids are like,
Daddy.
so you're on TV, what? You know? I'm like, but no, you don't get it. Guess who I was working with today? They're like,
And
I'm hungry.
your point, you're blocking the TV.
what do you think has been the greatest lesson that fatherhood has taught you?
Fatherhood has taught me patience.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people that, you know, it's amazing how you can be all of this, but then when you come home, they just love you for just being there, just appearing.
Yeah, they don't care you worked with that dad,
you know?
until you tell them it was with Pally and GDD. Then
Did they like it? Can I come next time? That is so beautiful, though, and I think it's that family man spirit that you just kind of exude without even trying. What has been some of the most eye-opening, scary moments that you kind of were shook from the core, and you want to show your kids that, hey, look, I was brave in that moment. I was courageous. I pushed through, whether it's in the industry, working for so many years, or drama queens like us?
No, I think the thing that actually motivates me to teach my kids is just for them to be themselves. The world is going to test you, you know? I mean, as simple as life. Life is simple. People complicate it. Relationships are simple. People complicate them. You know, but now when you let outside influence come in and tell me how I should raise my kids, I honestly don't do much except for be there. You know, when I take trips, when I work out of town, I take them with me, you know?
Do you really?
Yeah, I used to turn down jobs if they were not going to accommodate my family. But, you know, now they have their own schedules. They have their own routine. You know, I come home and they're like, oh, he's back.
He's here again.
But don't you think having that balance is, like, I suppose there's studies around the fact that when you're happy at home and that when you've got that purpose with children, then you actually do better in your careers.
That's true. That's true. I mean, if you know what your purpose is, and my purpose is to create the best human beings. And that's the only job I have as a man.
Yeah.
Everything else, you can replace me or not. Another guy who could be sitting here right now, you know? But that job is my job.
There's very few men who could replace you, my darling.
We wouldn't want them to either.
But you seem so connected and so present and so, like aware. Do you do any kind of work on yourself, like, spiritually?
I do meditate. I do sit. The best thing that I do is I take my boat out to the water and I just sit.
Must be nice.
Listen, if I had a boat, I'd also be super happy.
Must be so nice. I just take my boat out and okay.
You know what I used to
I'm
do?
also all about this yacht life.
What I used to do is I used to drop the kids off at school, go to Hartebees, hang out in the boat all day, and then go pick them up. But I wouldn't tell them that that's where I was because they would hate me for that because they love being in the water too.
Yeah.
But then I would come home and I'd be at peace. You know, I'd be centered. Nothing would bother me. You know, and you got to find your own thing. I like to be outside, pretty much.
And the fact that you've got that center and you found your peace has given you so much purpose beyond just yourself and your life and your family. You've got a foundation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I got the Mutodi Neshehe Foundation, and I want to focus on, and I just started recently, I want to focus on the poor communities, the informal settlements where, so we live in multi-million rand houses, and right there next to us is people who don't have.
I know.
And I mean, I know in my house, I got a ton of kids' clothes. That's a ton of kids without clothes, not even 3 kilometers away from me. So what I'm doing is I'm collecting all these things. I'm going to try and figure out if I can partner up with somebody for packaging purposes or logistic purposes. So I'm not just focusing on the areas where I live.
Yeah.
And that's what the most important thing is the kids. But I also have clothes. I mean, I have a ton of clothes. I got clothes I've never worn. I got clothes.
There's so much stuff that can be made available to other people in need.
Exactly. So what happened is that a couple of years ago, they moved an informal settlement from where, next to where I used to live. They moved them somewhere else, and a few months later, a little baby girl died from being cold. No. And I've been carrying that with me for like a few years until I said, you know, I've been talking about the foundation for a few years now. I finally said, I'm just going to do it. Yeah. You know, and I just went out and registered it, and everything is going smooth right now.
So many changes like that need to be happening. Like in South Africa, children are dying from stuff as simple as diarrhea, which can be fixed, it can be helped. Thank you so much for all the amazing work that you're doing. Thank you for just being you. You are an absolute light. So we're so happy to have you here today.
A role model not only at home but in front of our screens daily. We appreciate you. Now, joining us after the break is budding rap star Crazy J Suave, and he's performing live in studio.
Express yourself.
Together Just do you.
Mic check 1 2. Are we? Yeah. Are we? Come on, Sama.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow. Yeah. Hey. How could you feel me? How could you feel me? Yeah.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we're coming to you live all the way from our beautiful Afternoon Express loft. We trust that you're having a fantastic Friday afternoon. Now, Crazy J Suave is what you get when you have a man whose ear is firmly stuck to the streets. The budding rapper joins us to chat about his exciting music career, and of course, we're going to get that amazing performance a little later. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, you are a crazy workaholic. A hustler, I think, is the best way just to describe you. How has your journey in music been? And, you know, when you kind of want to put yourself out there, what do you want the people to know?
That I'm the best rapper out here.
Ooh, that's a big call. I love that.
And yeah, just like, you know, I'm working hard, you know, I'm trying to get myself out there properly. Yeah.
Hustling
hard.
It never stops. And of course, it's 2020 now. So we're moving into a new year, a new phase. And you are working on an incredible album.
Yeah.
What can we expect? What can your fans expect? You love to play with like nostalgic songs and nostalgic ear, but you're also quite, you know, the bars are on top.
Yeah. What you can expect is, you know, something different, something new. My producers, shout out to Harvey Beats, Dynasty. They've been very musical with the way they're structuring, you know, the instrumentals and stuff like that. So expect a new sound of hip-hop.
Yeah, a new sound of hip-hop, like the incredible mixture that you are, your heritage, your music, all coming together in this incredible package. Performing a song that is an absolute vibe to get you into the Friday feels. This is Crazy J Suave with You Feel Me.
Yeah. Hey. How could you feel me? How could you feel him? Yeah. Wanna dripping on me like Fiji. Pull up to the scene, screeching. Lately it's been hard to reach me. Cause I've been making all these moves discreetly. first they ain't wanna believe me. Now I'm shining like a star in this evening. Promise mama that I'm gonna be on TV. I ain't touch 'em, but I know that they feel me. Spend a lot of time on the road. I be on my grind trying to get that dough. Just came from the studio on my way to a show. I ain't never need a pistol cause I be on the road. Flow so hella wavy, drip like H2O. Erupt like a volcano, you can tell about the blow. Couple of my exes keep on blowing on my phone. They ain't wonder what the boy when the homie was broke. The lifestyle that I'm living is something that I chose. All my authentic, I never been a clone. Haters feeling threatened cause I've been doing the most. I'm the best in the city, this, I know I'm a goat. Hey, hit the switch, swear I'm worth the lit. Hey, what? Picture hits, beat it like a whip. I'm the whip, too legit to quit. Too legit, check my drip. Caution, you might slip. Water dripping on me like Fiji. Pull up to the scene, screeching. Lately it's been hard to reach me. Cause I've been making all these moves discreetly. At first they ain't wanna believe me. Now I'm shining like a star and they see me. Promise mama that I'm gonna be on TV. I ain't touch 'em, but I know that they feel me. I ain't touch 'em, but I know that they feel me. I ain't touch 'em, but I know that they feel me. I ain't touch 'em, but I know that they feel me. I ain't touch 'em, that I know that they feel me. Hey, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Absolutely brilliant. And of course, Cape Town hip hop is definitely kicking it lately. Now, the new kid on the block is, in this case, Clover Classic Tangy Mayonnaise is the one key ingredient that you will need to take your meals to the next level today. Now, our maize meal corn dogs with a really spicy classic mayo sauce is a recipe that has international flair, really, but with a local twist. So get ready for a really lekker weekend. All you need to do is SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this recipe sent directly to your device. And of course, SMS is a R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Now, whenever I think of corn dogs, I think of like American movies.
Yes.
And I was always so fascinated with what they are. I've actually never had one in my whole life, and I've always wanted to try it. So this is going to be a first.
Yes.
Are they delicious?
And very delicious. And we are adding a South African twist, like maize meal. This is flour.
What would they normally be without the maize meal? Corn flour. So what's the difference? Well, obviously one's maize and one's corn, but what's the difference in taste?
This one tastes better.
Oh, well, there you go. Good. You heard it right here on Afternoon Express.
I'm a South African. This is salt and baking powder and 1 beaten egg.
Beautiful.
Right? And you add the...
What is that?
This is buttermilk.
Beautiful.
Buttermilk. And you just mix the butter.
Yeah.
Just mix it until it's all combined. And of course, we've already have the new...
There you go.
Yes. I'm going to ask you to hold on to this.
Yeah.
While I hold on to this. You want to try and do some dipping?
Definitely. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Remember that song?
So
okay, now how thick do they need to be?
As thick as you can get it, actually. It really depends on you. But I like mine really thick, and then you just
me too.
Twist it just like this.
This is so fun, let me tell you. I feel like I'm at Disney World. Okay.
Just make sure that we dip everything.
No, look how good mine is.
Yours is perfect.
Yeah, mine's actually perfect. And then I dip in the oil.
And then you dip it. And then you just leave it for about 15 minutes. This will allow the baking... 15 seconds, sorry. 15 seconds. This will allow the baking powder to just activate, creating some bubbles.
Okay, good. Because, I mean, I'm all about the standing over a hot pot with you.
Yes.
So
and then basically
how do you know when
just
they're
leave
ready?
it until they brown.
Leave it like that?
You can leave it like this and start doing. But now we're going to be doing the sauce.
This is everything. I am a sauce queen.
Yes.
Very saucy.
And for this, we are going to use a cup of classic mayonnaise.
Delicious.
Okay. And then hot sauce.
Amazing. Put that whole thing in. The hotter the better, eh?
You know what I mean? And squeeze some lemon. Do you want to squeeze the other one?
Yeah. What does the lemon do?
It just gives it that nice tang, to be quite honest with you.
Lovely. I put lemon over everything. I start my morning every single day with a full lemon in boiling hot water. I end off my day with a full lemon in boiling hot water. It's seriously so good for your skin, so good for your digestive system, everything. Oh, this is starting to look delicious.
Yes.
And our corn dogs. Okay, I have to have one.
You have
because
to
this
have
is like a
one.
childhood dream. Didn't you ever have those fantasies when you were watching movies with Disney World and all those American movies, and they're always eating a corn dog? Yeah?
You know what I mean?
Okay,
And you're having
well,
that.
I'm going to give it a good go. Oh, a lot of sauce, but I'm a mayo fan, so... Amazing! Oh, this is actually very good. Yummy. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Thank you so much for teaching me how to do this. I'm now a little corn dog freak.
Yeah.
Now SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this amazing recipe. I'm sure you're salivating already watching this. So good.
Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
I mean, that definitely looked absolutely delicious. But we have more music after the break as we meet group Hot Water. See you after the break.
Express yourself.
Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
Afternoon Express. I hope that you are having a fabulous day. It's about to get a lot hotter. Now, music often, and I think music often transcends solely being about entertainment. Sometimes it can be just the perfect ingredient, powerful enough to affect change.
So Donovan Copley from the group Hot Water joins us now to chat all about their approach. Welcome to the Loft.
How are you?
Guys, hi,
You're
G.
a ball of energy. You're a happy chappy indeed. I love your energy right now.
Yeah, thanks. Do the viewers know that the aircon's not working and that we are baking? So I did a little run. I did a little run in here.
Put us on blast, I don't.
They don't.
Turn
they
on
just
that fan.
think that we glow like this naturally.
Yeah.
But actually the aircon isn't working and it's like 107 degrees in here.
I'm telling you,
We
it
can
is
take
hot,
it.
hot, hot.
Yeah.
It's basically, I think, but your water is probably something that's a little harder. And I mean, your 2019 was out of this world. Before we stepped into 2020, I mean, you guys were crazy busy, on the go, just hustling, gig after gig. How was 2019 for you? And has it kind of set the pace that you want to move into 2020 with?
Yeah, it was intense. 2019, I think, was intense for a lot of people. And yeah, it was intense and awesome. We had like an adventure, and that's what I love. I mean, Hot Water is an adventure. I set it up as an adventure.
Yeah.
you know, and it is an adventure. So
for those who haven't heard of Hot Water, how would you
Yeah.
describe the sound?
You know, often because we perform a lot overseas, and really, you know, Hot Water's job for me is connecting people to the spirit of South Africa and creating energy and just warmth, you know, and joy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when we perform overseas, people often go like, oh, it's Paul Simon. It's like Paul Simon, because it's basically crossover music, or Johnny Clegg. It's in that, it's in that realm. It's its own thing, but it's in the realm of connecting.
And it's certainly beautiful, and you are doing so well overseas. You really are the quintessential overachiever. I mean, you're a father of 3, travel all over the world, super dynamic and talented. And then you also make these incredible little guitars that you've given to like every single superstar in the world. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm just going to add one thing. I also wear a velvet jacket when it's 34 degrees.
Yeah.
Not a stroke up.
I don't even know how you're doing it.
3 strokes and you're out, because I am married, even though I don't have a wedding ring on me.
So I'm just going to sit here.
Yeah, so, you know, years ago, I wanted to find an instrument that would really reflect the spirit of the music and you know, I just love this country. And I wanted to find something that when you saw it, it was like, there it is. And so the guitar actually found me, and I've just developed it since then. I've added colors to it. And, yeah, we have our own brand, and they've found, the guitars have found their way through to just amazing people.
Passenger, is it Sam Smith?
Passenger, Ed Sheeran, yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah. He bought 4, and he gave 1 to Bono. That's how Bono got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
With a young selfie there, that looks absolutely... That's incredible.
That's Adam Sandler, yeah.
Because you did the music for Blended, hey?
Yeah, so we had, super proud of that. Wamkele Kile was in the middle of that film, 3.5 minutes, and so afterwards I kind of had connected with his producer, and he plays guitar, of course, and he writes songs. So I'm like, I want to send him a guitar, so that's me sending him a guitar, and that's him saying, how's it, and thanks for it.
I actually did the junket, the global junket for the movie Blended, and I got to interview him and Drew Barrymore, and they are just so obsessed with South Africa and everything about South Africa. They had the best time. They lived at Sun City for like 6 months doing it.
I mean, I'm super jelly, and I mean, I think it's that cross-cultural appeal that you guys have as Hot Water. How did the band even come to be? How did you hand-pick each and every piece? Because I'm sure it takes quite a bit to put such a beautiful musical group together.
Thanks. It is beautiful, and I love how it's grown, and it really has grown really organically. I've allowed it to grow like a plant would almost, you know. It surprises me sometimes. It's just giving something with a certain intent attention, and so it's just developed over the years, and you know, members have come and gone, and it's found its way into just this amazing space. It started really very personally. Just I felt really disconnected, really, in my life in my early 20s when I was kind of 20, and so music started as a vehicle to kind of connect. And I'm in a country where there was a lot of disconnection. I mean, look, you know, it's a worldwide sort of thing, I think. You know, it's like a certain kind of disconnectedness, and I think music is a way to connect, and it certainly does it for me personally, and also...
I want to know about some of your gigs overseas, like where you've played and what the reception and what the reaction from the audience has been.
It's pretty much the same everywhere. I think there's a universal beat that sort of is inherent in the Hot Water vibe that people just connect with, and it's a feeling, really. For me, it's transmitting a feeling. You know, the music for me, it's like a, you know, the music is a vehicle to connect. When you walk away from a concert, you don't walk away with the music.
Yes, that's true.
What you walk away with is a feeling.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all around. It's all around the spirit of the thing, or the space
that's if I don't walk away with a drummer.
A band member.
Wow.
Just putting it out there.
I'm joking. I just saw those drums, and it's always a good moment to...
It is Friday. We'll let it... It's fine, Jeannie. We'll give you that one. Next question.
But, okay, music
I feel like this couch. I need to lie down and get some therapy here.
Okay, so we've had tears on that couch.
I'll give you some therapy.
Will you?
What is the best chappy rapper joke you've ever heard?
Wow.
How many did you know?
That was an indirect, because you'd have to sort of...
Wow, you guys.
You see, she's on a roll here.
I want to know if it is reversible.
Oh, goodness, I hope my wife is not watching this, guys. Just saying.
I mean, where did I walk into today?
It's always trying to be so awkward with me.
So, moving into 2020, any vision? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? How is it looking like for not only you as an individual and a family man, but as a group as a whole?
Well, we're kickstarting it with one of my favorite festivals, which is Up the Creek.
Yes.
Oh, such a festival. So much fun. So we played last year.
Score some tickets, Pell.
Saturday night. Hey?
Score some tickets.
Some tickets, yeah.
You run Afternoon Express. It cannot be hard for you to get
tickets anyway.
If you can put that fan on me a little more, I can see what I can do. But otherwise, you can get tickets at Howler. I think it's howler.com.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's the beginning of February. So we'll be Saturday night on the main stage. So that's going to be fun with the 5-piece band.
Beautiful. Setting the tone for the rest of 2020. Thank you.
Good luck for Up the
Thanks,
Creek
guys.
and good luck for your 2020.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
absolutely such a star. Now, after the break, Hot Water performs live in the studio to kickstart your Friday evening.
These two.
Express yourself.
One, two, one, one, one.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So guys, we're playing the song and then
One,
we've got
two.
like a 90-second segment, so don't cut away, please, like straight after to make it, it's total 5 minutes, okay? Remember that one?
1, 2. Come.
All right. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Pull this in so you can get through there. The snare? Switch this off, eh? Check, check, check. 1, 2. Hello.
1, 2,
Hello,
1,
hello,
1.
hello. Are we going to introing us, eh? Yeah. All right.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Here to perform a song that's exactly in line with unity and community. This is Hot Water with Wamkelikile. Take it away.
Deep down on the foreshore, question what we live for. Sign is like a tombstone blues. Colors like a rainbow fall back in a dark hole. Question it comes burning through. Wamkele, 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 gile, wamkele, wamkele for sure. Wamkele, 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 gile, wamkele, wamkele for sure. Time is like an ocean, singular but broken, and we are wooden pegs on a pole. Sudden like a rainstorm, a voice it pours from heaven. Is this your final welcome home? Hey! Wangele, 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 gile, wangele, wangele for sure. Wangele, 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 gile, wangele, wangele for sure. home. Well, I'm left with one question, burning my direction, but a choice. Which where I go? Wangele, 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 gile, wangele, wangele, for sure. Wangele, 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 gile, wangele, wangele, for sure. Wangele, for sure. Wangele, 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 gile, wangele, for sure.
Kabentu nomama kebe sendine qhebo chwanga phambili okwenene ndihamba okwenene ndibeke goli mna nosana lwam ayibo xa bendinomama kesendine qhebo chwanga phambili okwenene ndihamba okwenene ndibeke goli mna nosana lwam kyakotoli yoy kyakotoli ngina le ragim daga mama iyo ndihamba iyo ndibeke yo 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 kyakotoli yoy kyakotoli ngina le ragim daga mama iyo ndihamba iyo ndibeke goli hayibo ukhuluma nayo sophithi ungqola msili yedem uvele bambenzela nansi intombi yomkhosa bethu nayivumele hayibo
Oh, my word, I did not expect that ending. Please, God, one day in my life, can I do a turn and then boom! Wow, yes! That was amazing.
I mean, you guys, after that fire performance, you definitely have to come sit down and explain yourselves.
Hey, that's my dream. Dun 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 and zwah! And the split. I mean, oh.
Absolutely brilliant.
Do you know, that was actually my New Year's resolution for 2019, like the start of 2019.
Oh, yeah.
I said at the end of 2019, I'm going to know how to do the splits.
How far are we?
I'm about...
This far.
She just showed you, boom.
I'm joking. I'm a little bit closer. I'm a little bit closer. But, yeah. So that's how I feel about New Year's resolutions.
And speaking about New Year's resolutions, I mean, going into 2020, do you have any up your sleeve?
I don't really do resolutions because I'm afraid of like disappointing myself. Guys, come sit on this side.
Come sit.
Come sit on this side.
Obviously, he wants to sit closer to me. It's getting weird now.
Let's just sit over there.
I'm a politiki.
Okay, you are incredible.
Thank you so much.
Tell me about that final move.
Okay. Dancing is my feeling.
You gotta use that.
It's my life. Okay.
Gotta use that one.
Sorry.
Okay, dancing is my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a bang.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Ending the show off with a bang, sister. You have no fear.
You're amazing. Congratulations.
So whilst you catch your breath, you were just saying, talking about fear and having no fear and going out boldly. Your 2020 resolution is to not put pressure on yourself.
No, I don't put pressure on myself. I set realistic goals, and obviously you attained realistic goals.
Yeah.
You can't expect to be a millionaire overnight.
Yeah.
But if you expect to have $1,000 by the end of the month, you know, $500,000 by five years, you can get to $1 million. So I'm realistic with my plans. Just like I hope he's realistic about like, doing the split, you know?
Well, I don't do the split, but I mean, like, could we have aircon by the end of the week?
I'm just saying, guys, I didn't ask.
We got to deal with the real problems at hand right now, not the theoretical.
That's the 2020 request, right?
That was 2019. No. The real stuff starts at home.
Aircon. I agree. I agree. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions? Any plans for 2020 that are huge?
Oh. But not too big.
Yeah, not too big. I have a few, but it's a couple of movies and.
A couple of movies.
And a couple. Shot a couple of pilots. We did a movie a few years ago called Men in Crisis, and it was released in Venda because it was mostly myself, Gabriel, most of the Muvhango actors. The old Ndalamo 2.0, because I was replaced with another Ndalamo Muvhango. Millicent, his name is Leslie Musina, and Millicent Mercado. And it's a beautiful movie, and yeah, I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's just, it's stunning, it's stunning. We just did a short film too, which we edited in LA, called 3 Stops. But the idea for the short film is so we can make a feature film because the story is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's about a young lady who just wants to get revenge.
Oh,
well, that's
yes, and I happen to be the reformed target of her revenge. I've changed since the bad things my character did in the past, and I just feel like it's injustice to come after me now. Well, I've reformed now, I'm married, I got a kid, I'm like, why are you doing this to me? But not, you know, it's about accountability, really, and vengeance comes in very different levels in life.
Yeah.
Oh, you never know when it's going to come and stick in you where the sun don't shine.
It's so interesting.
Guys, seriously, what is happening? I'm like between a rock and a hard place right here.
Yeah, like, what's going on today?
With no AC.
Exactly. And I'm fitting people.
Thank you so much for all being here today. Looking forward to seeing you at Up the Creek on Saturday. And of course, thank you for joining us today. It's been an absolutely amazing show.
Yeah, it has.
That's certainly one way to keep.
Can I ask you a question very quickly?
Ask me.
For me, the aim for me with Hot Water is just to continue to connect people and the world to the spirit of this amazing country and continent because we have so much to give.
Yeah. Where's the question?
No, that wasn't a question.
The question is
I'm going to answer your question. It's not always about you, Jeannie. It's mostly about you, but...
Well, Donovan, I think that is the brilliant
We're holding the fort on the side.
No, that's a brilliant note to end off the show. Of course, unity, community, and bringing together. I hope that you get together with your loved ones this weekend. Spend that quality time together. From us here at Afternoon Express, catch us on Monday, same time, same place.
Good night and God bless.
Guys. Cheers.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clovo.
Another feel-good production.